Şu anki boş odayı harika bir çift kişilik oyun odasına dönüştürmek üzereyim. Çünkü yaklaşık bir ay önce kız arkadaşımla taşındık ve o zamandan beri oyun setup'ımız hemen hemen buydu. Pek de iyi değil. O yüzden önümüzdeki 5 gün içinde bu odayı tamamen harika çift kişilik oyun setup'ına dönüştüreceğim. İnanılmaz güçlü PC'ler, en son teknoloji oyun aksesuarlarından bazıları, tabii ki inanılmaz havalı aydınlatma tasarımları. Bu kanalda şimdiye kadar yaptığım en iyi oyun odası olacak ve en pahalısı. Ama bunu yapmamın başka bir nedeni daha var. İşte bu benim güzel nişanlım Emily. Yeni taşındık ve 5 gün sonra Emily'nin doğum günü. Ben de düşündüm ki eğer 5 gün içinde doğum günün için kelimenin tam anlamıyla en çılgın çift kişilik oyun setup'ını yaparsam gerçekten harika bir fikir olurdu. Ve bütün günü orada oyun oynayarak geçiririz.
Bu gerçekten
harika olurdu değil mi?
harika olurdu.
Evet, harika olur. Ancak odaya girmen yasak. O yüzden ortadan kaybolman lazım. Evet, odada bana yardım etmek için arkadaşım Adam burada. Çünkü devasa bir iş olacak. Şimdiye kadar yaptığım en büyük oyun setup'ı kurulumu muhtemelen. O zaman hadi gidelim. Bitirelim şu işi. Aslında önce IKEA'ya gitmemiz gerek.
Hadi gidelim.
Evet, gidelim. Şimdi IKEA'ya gidiyoruz. Çünkü odanın ilk tasarımındaki ürünlerin çoğu
Gerçekten uzun.
adım galiba sığmayacak. Benim arabam küçük. Yani pek IKEA mobilyası taşımak için tasarlanmamış.
Benim koltuğumu gördün mü? Nerede oturacağım bir baksana.
Evet, sen orada oturacaksın. Çok Odayı mobilyalarla doldurmamız
Hayır,
lazım.
dönüyor.
Aa! Sonra güzel aydınlatma eklememiz lazım. O polis var. Adam polis var. Ve son olarak çift kişilik oyun setup'ını eklememiz lazım. Aman tanrım. Bu çok stresliydi. Şimdi her şeyi içeri taşımalıydık. Oda için aldığımız tüm eşyalar bunlar. Bugün aldık. Bu şimdiye kadar benim aldığım en fazla IKEA mobilyası.
Peki nereden başlayacağız?
Bence bu kolay olacak. Şipşak hallederiz. Red Bull da var. Hadi lanet olsun. Çekmecelerle başlayalım. Talimatlar. Adam yine oldu.
Her seferinde böyle oluyor.
Her seferinde bu talimatlar pencereden dışarı uçuyor. Neyse, boş yapmayı bırakalım. Hadi şu masaları birleştirelim. Şunu da şuraya itelim. Bu masa çok büyük olacak. Bu harika görünecek. Devasa bir masa olacak. Dostum, buraya yarış simülasyonu da koyabiliriz.
Pek sanmıyorum.
Bence sığdırırız. Evet, tüm masalar birleştirildi. Büyük L şeklinde masalarımız var. Benim setup'ım buraya, Emily'nin setup'ı buraya. İşte böyle görünüyor. Bence harika. Ancak ilk günü daha bitirmedik. Sandalyeleri de kurmamız lazım. Gidip onları da alalım. Şanslıyız ki CEO bize bu setup'ı koymak için en iyi sandalyelerinden ikisini göndermişti. Vay! Özel eldivenler. Çıkaralım şunları.
Onların hepsi beyaz.
Bu harika. Güzel kokuyor. Sandalyeler gerçekten güzel kokuyordu. Ve kurulumları da kolaydı. Yaklaşık 15 dakikaya bitirdik. Ama konfor iyi değilse bunlar bir anlam ifade etmiyor. Adam ve ben sandalyelerimizi kurduk. Bakalım iyi mi? Test edelim. Hadi.
Vay.
İyiymiş. Bayağı
Evet,
iyiymiş.
bence de.
Gerçekten iyiymiş. Güzel.
Dostum, burada uyuyakalabilirim. Uyuyacağım şimdi.
CEO'nun bize gönderdiği sandalye Doro C300 Pro'ydu ve yalan söyleyemem, harika görünüyordu. Belinizi saran, gerçek zamanlı destek sağlayan bir bel izleme sistemine sahip. Yaslanmanız için 3 farklı açısı var. 6D koordineli kolçaklar, yani şunlara bakın. Yukarı, aşağı, sola, sağa. Hatta bir eğilim işlevi bile var. Bu şimdiye kadar oturduğum en çok yönlü sandalyelerden biri. Ve CEO'ya bunu gönderdiği için teşekkür etmek istiyorum. Ayrıca güzel nefes alabilir file tasarımına sahip olan ve 3'te koordineli kolçaklarla çift bel desteği sunan M57 sandalyeleri içinde. Bu sandalyeler setup'ta inanılmaz görünecek. İncelemek isterseniz açıklamada linki bırakacağım. Dediğim gibi bu şimdiye kadar yaptığım en pahalı setup olacak. Bu yüzden bu videoya sponsor olduğun için teşekkürler CEO. İlk günü tamamlamak için Mega Desk'e biraz ekstra destek ekledim ve ayrıca bu 3'te sanat panellerini yapıştırdım. Ancak bu bütün gecemi aldı. Ama buna değdi çünkü odaya biraz derinlik kattı. Ve oda gerçekten iyi görünmeye başlasa da bu beni yatmadan önce bir raf takmaya çalışmaktan alıkoyamadı. Evet, saat gece 1. Sesimden anlayabiliyor musunuz bilmiyorum ama çok yorgunum. Şimdi uyuyacağım ve sabah devam edeceğim. İkinci günün başında ben ve Adam başka bir masa kurmaya başladık. Çünkü bu odada sadece 2 setup olmayacak. 3 tane olacak. Sonra açıklarım. Şimdi ise geri kalan rafları ekleme zamanı. Şuna bak. 3 tane
Çok
olacak.
oturdu.
Şu anda aslında 2 farklı tür IKEA rafını birleştiriyorum. Kalın raf tasarımını elde etmek için. Buna böyle mi denir, yani kalın bir raf mı? Bilmiyorum. Rafların bazılarını uyuması için kesmek zorunda kaldım. Ama bunu yaptıktan sonra tüm mobilya tamamlandı. Yani aydınlatmaya geçebiliriz. Ama sipariş ettiğim her şey henüz gelmedi. Ancak yine de kuracak epey bir şeyimiz var. Bu odayı şimdiye kadarki en çılgın aydınlatmayla dolduracağız. İlk kez bunlardan alıyorum. Hadi başlayalım. Bu resmen sadece ilki. Bence şunları kapatınca daha iyi görünecek. Vay be. Bu sadece bir tanesi. Bir tane. Daha 10-15 tane daha var. Çok güzel olacak. Sıradaki ışık masanın etrafına dolayabileceğim bu çılgın masa ışığıydı. Aman tanrım. Şu an sadece 2 ışık yaktık. Burada durabilirdim. Ve yine de inanılmaz görünürdü. Şimdiye kadar yaptığım en iyi setup olacak, hissedebiliyorum. Eğer bunun gerçekten şimdiye kadar yaptığım en iyi oda olmasını istiyorsam bu odanın en kötü şeyinden kurtulmam lazım. Büyük ışıktan. Eğer buradaki her ışığı kapatıp ışık düğmesini açarsam... Yani görüyor musunuz? Çok korkunç görünüyor. Gerçekten sanırım bu insanoğlunun icat ettiği en kötü şeylerden biri olabilir. Yani birkaç başka şey daha var sanırım ama en azından ilk 3'te. Neyse, bende bir tane Philips Hue ışık anahtarı var. Ki bu temelde aynı şey. Ama bu bir renk değiştiren ampul. Şimdi bundan kurtulacağım. Ve şimdi farklı renkler ayarlayabilirim. Fısıldıyorum çünkü sessiz kalmalıyım ki Emre duymasın. Ama gerçekçi olursak bu odayı olabildiğince iyi göstermem lazım çünkü gerçekten bu kanalın başarısı onsuz gerçekleşemezdi. Bazılarınız 11 yaşımdan beri YouTuber olmak istediğimi biliyor olabilir. Emily'nin sayesinde şu an bunu yapıyorum. Tam anlamıyla hayallerimi gerçekleştirdi. O yüzden onu bu çılgın odayla şaşırtmak istiyorum. Doğum günü için çok iyi olmasını istiyorum. Gece boyunca çalışacağım. Biraz daha ışık takacağım ve evet, genel olarak ikinci gün için güzel ilerleme kaydettik. Merhaba dostlarım, bugün 3. gün ve günümün yaklaşık %90'ını Amazon paketlerini bekleyerek geçirdim. Teşekkürler. Çok sağ olun. Aman tanrım, çok fazla paket var. Onları yukarı çıkaralım. Amazon teslimatı çok geciktiğine göre bu işi bitirmek için daha da az zamanımız kaldı. Yani bir an önce başlamalıyız. Işıklar. Ses yalıtımı. Sıradaki ışık.
I'm about to turn this current room into my subscribers' dream gaming room. Right now, it's a complete mess, incredibly ugly, and there's just things in here that just don't belong in a gaming setup. Like, is that a Mac? So, in this video, I'm gonna tear the entire room down and completely transform it into his dream gaming paradise. Complete with beautiful lighting, the craziest gaming accessories, and one of the most powerful gaming setups I've ever given away. So surely with this amount of work and a time limit of 10 hours, nothing's gonna go wrong. Right? Right? So, this is one of my earliest subscribers, Jack.
Hello!
What is currently wrong with your setup, Jack?
I don't know what's right with my setup. My MacBook just can't game at all. My setup is just uncomfortable. My desk is old. Even having a monitor would just be so nice.
I want to see this room.
So this is where the magic happens.
What magic is happening here?
Well, I
Bro, what sort of water bottle speaker is this? This is the gaming setup then?
yeah.
I won't lie, it does look like it's from an office building in the 80s. Oh my, that's gonna be fun. I'm not being funny. We need to get rid of the whole thing. So to get started, we removed everything from the room. We took out the desk, ripped off the foam panels. What the hell is this? Look how much residue they leave, bro.
Listen, man, they do the job, and that's all that matters.
Oh yeah, but you're making my job harder is what's happening. And I'm sticking to the wall. Now I've only got 10 hours to complete the setup because Jack is leaving the next day. So in order to speed up the cleaning process,
Dan's kicked me out of the room because apparently I'm not allowed to see the surprise. Hopefully, we don't hear the whole room fall apart.
now that the room has all been cleared out, I can tick off the first item of my 5-step plan to complete this room. The next step was to create a design for the room, but since we only had 10 hours to do this, I already had designed something the night before. So this is the SketchUp that I've pretty much done. We're gonna try and go for like a blue and white room with a load of hexagon panels, loads of cool lighting. I've ordered pretty much everything I could off Amazon to try and recreate this room, so let's go put it in. Now that the room is all cleared out and the design is done, we've got to move on to our next step, which is furniture. This room is looking incredibly empty right now. We've got to get a desk in here. First piece of furniture put together.
You having fun there? I've heard him building the same thing for like half an hour now. I'm pretty sure he should be ahead of himself.
Now that the desk is done, I don't want
Welcome to our 2022 setup tour. This has been a long overdue video. I know, loads of people on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter have been asking, for the love of God, where is the setup tour? The last time we did a tour was last year, actually, when we did the 4-part series building the office from start to finish. So a lot has changed since then. We've taken a lot of things out. We've added a lot of things in. So today's video, we're going to do a walkthrough of the office, going over all the different stations that we have in the setup so that you guys can get a better understanding of what it's actually like. And we're also going to reference some of the stuff from the 4-part series for the new people that might not have seen those videos, kind of to show how we built the office and what it is today. So if you see anything you like in the video, you can check the links down in the description. Without further ado, let's get into the tour.
But before that, I wanted to take a minute to tell you about this new Skytech gaming PC with the all-new Intel Arc graphics that Intel sent over for us to try out. If you're someone who's thinking of getting into PC gaming, but you don't fancy building your own, this pre-built system from Skytech featuring the latest 13th gen Intel processor, along with Intel's new Arc A770 GPU, is ready to go straight out of the box, so you can just start gaming. Speaking of the GPU, here's what it looks like. It's actually quite refreshing to have another option on the market now. I also like how clean it looks. It's definitely got quite a minimalistic aesthetic, but for you RGB lovers, you'll be pleased to know it also has RGB lighting, so you can customize the colors to match the rest of your PC. Now, one thing that's cool about having an all Intel system is the Intel Deep Link, which is a feature enabled on select processors to basically let the CPU and GPU work together simultaneously to deliver highly optimized performance, especially when it comes to intensive tasks like streaming and content creation. Now, when it comes to to gaming, the A770 is well equipped to handle all your favorite titles. We're currently playing at 1440p resolution, ultra settings, and as you can see, we're getting frame rates well over 60 FPS in many of the latest games. And you can boost frame rates even further using Intel's Xe super sampling technology. Simply enable it on supported titles and enjoy higher FPS. Hitman 3, for example, we've even got ray tracing enabled and still getting over 60 FPS. Fans of older titles will also be pleased to know that Intel just released driver updates that significantly improve performance in older DX9 games like CSGO. So whatever you're playing, you can expect a great performance all around. To find out more about Intel Arc and this ready-to-go SkyTech gaming PC, click the link in the description down below.
So right in the entrance of the office, you will first see our camera equipment area. So this is where we store all of our camera lenses, our cameras, our lights, and all of our equipment that we use for YouTube videos. Now, we really like our Panasonic cameras. We actually sold all of our Sony cameras because we prefer the skin tones on the Panasonic. They just look awesome. Down here at the bottom, we have like all of our to-go gear that we use when we go on trips. So this is our new drone that we just got. We have our camera monitors and then the stands that we use when we're like out in public to have better footage. And then we also have our 100,000 subscriber plaque, which we love. Thank you to everyone that helped make that possible. And then inside of this unit right here, this is where we keep all of our batteries for all of our gear. So we've mounted and screwed everything down to the bottom so that it like doesn't move and it stays in the place. So you can just plop everything in there and pull it out whenever you need it. And then we also have like a Velcro strap right here so that whenever it's done charging, you can put it in and just grab everything off of it. And then up here on the top, this is just like random camera gear that we use sometimes, but we like to keep on hand as well. Now these units you see right here, these are the best Above that, we have this cool picture frame from a company on Instagram that sent me this. They kind of replace a lot of old gadgets and then make them into this really cool art, and it looks pretty nice. Moving on to this area, this is my dedicated shelf, and this is where I keep a lot of my knickknacks. So let's start from the bottom. So this interesting cube that you see here, this is a Tesseract cube, a 4-dimensional cube, in fact, and we did a review video on them because we have a few of them in our house. So we have one here, and then we have one over in Josh's setup, and they're really cool because they can be paired together to do like the same sync over music, and they just create a really cool ambient, and I feel like it fits us because our name is Tech Tesseract on our YouTube channel, so that's cool to have. We also have a discount code for 10% off. If you want to pick these up, you can use that. The code's Tech Tesseract. Up on the next shelf, we have my collection of a few of the keyboards that I have in this room, and then above that, just more of my keycap collection and just stuff that I use on my keyboards all the time. And then just on the top, we've got my Minecraft books and my custom Minecraft character. That's actually what it looked like in the game. And then just some Apple boxes to be displayed on. Now, moving over to the main setup, let's first talk about how we actually built the setup, and then I'll go through and talk about everything in our office. So, starting with the desks. We get a lot of questions about these desks and where they can be picked up at. Well, the top of it is a custom cut wood piece from Lowe's that we had cut directly to fit the measurements of the room. And then we we used that same wallpaper to put on top, and then I finished the edges off with this vinyl that you can also pick up at Lowe's. Now, above this desk, we have our custom shelving unit. So we actually hired a carpenter to come out to our office and build out these cabinets on, well, not cabinets, shelves on the wall. And after he was done building the shelves, I added these IKEA shelves on the front of them, honestly by accident, and they just turned out great. They finished the shelves, they made it look more modern in the way that I wanted them, so we decided to keep them. And then we just continued those custom panels that we got off of Amazon and cut them and put them in between it to keep that futuristic, I guess, flow going. And moving on to our projector screen. So if you saw our previous video in the 4 series, we had a really small projector screen. It probably went from here to here, and it looked really weird. So we custom built this projector screen. We got some plywood from Lowe's, and then we got some sheet from the fabric store, and we stretched it across and we made it the exact measurement of the gap that you saw up there to kind of make it more, I guess, immersive for our projector screen. And it looks really cool. So you might be wondering, why do we have such a big projector screen in our office? Well, it was one of the ways to hide the window behind this whole entire wall. Since we shoot a lot of YouTube videos in our office, we wanted to control the light in here so that it's easier to film. And that brings me to our other project that we did in here, is our custom hexagon wall panel. This is probably my favorite thing in our office. I've never seen anybody have it in their setup or their YouTube studio. It's just a really cool touch to have, and I feel like it's super unique. Now, how we made this is we took 2 pieces of wood and we mounted them to the wall, and then we used LED strips to, I guess, mount them to the back of pieces of wood that were drilled into the wall. And then we put 2 other pieces of plywood on top of it and sandwiched them together and started putting all the hexagons onto the board. And then we cut out individual hexagons and used like frosted acrylic glass that we spray painted with a frosted spray to create that frosted look, so you would get more of an RGB glow. Up here on the top, we have some nanoleaf canvas panels, and we actually had to customize them on Josh's side and my side. We had to cut pieces of drywall out of the wall to actually fit the whole size or the length of the panels to fit the dimensions of the room. We also created this custom tubing system that you see right here. So it's using LED light strip raceways, and then this is a tube from the plumbing section in Lowe's that I came up with the idea to super glue to the raceway, and then I sandwiched Gobi LED strips on the top and the bottom so that it has that lighting effect and you don't really see the individual lights of the strips. Now, for lighting the entire room, we are using Gobi LED strips. They basically run all the way along the shelves and inside the cabinets. Definitely the best LED strips you can buy, would highly recommend. Now that we've gone over all the custom stuff in our office, let's take a look back at my desk and go over all of the stuff in it. So right on the top, we have my wall of GPUs. Now, a lot of people think I just collect these for fun, but in reality, we do not. We use them for all of our PC builds that we do on our YouTube channel. So there is a purpose to all of these GPUs. They're not just for display. And now, thanks to Intel, we have another one to add to our collection. Moving down to my actual desk setup, I'm using 3 monitors. The middle one is a 34-inch ultra-wide gaming monitor, and the 2 on the side are 2 Alienware 25-inch gaming monitors. And I really like this layout because I personally feel like for productivity, it works really good to have landscape and portrait monitors right next to each other. Right under my monitors, we have my desk riser stand from LandQ, and we put white wallpaper on the top of it just to match with the theme of our setup. And then I've just got my Amazon Echo Show and my Go XLR here for when I'm streaming and using my microphone. And then I also have my really cool McLaren car over here that I really like, so I keep that on my desk. Josh actually has a whole collection of cars on his side that you'll see later in the video. On the right side of my desk, I have this button right here. So this button actually turns my PC on and off. It's a custom button that can hook up to your motherboard, and then once you press it, it can control it. So I like having that because it's convenient, because my PC is all the way on the other side of my desk and I don't like getting up and turning it off when I need to. For my mouse, I'm using the Razer Viper Ultimate V2, and then for my keyboard, this is a mechanical keyboard from Melgeek, and it has a matching number pad that I usually display all my custom keycaps on. Right next to my keyboard, I have my Razer Tartarus V2. Now, I use this specifically for only playing games. I do not like to play video games on a keyboard. I absolutely hate it. So this to me is just more ergonomic. Josh says he doesn't like the feel of it, but for me it works great. Absolutely love it. And then I also have a loop deck right up here on the top. So we use this when you're editing videos, and there's like a lot of settings for in Premiere Pro that you can use and customize. For audio, I'm using the Spark SL from Blue. It sounds great for when I'm doing voiceovers or streaming. And then the speakers that I'm using are the Sanyang bookshelf speakers. I really like them because they match the black and white theme that I was going for my setup. Last on my desk, I have my Alienware laptop. So this is my Alienware X14 and my Alienware headset, and I use this pretty much daily. This is my daily driver when I'm out in the living room or we're traveling. It's really small, and Josh actually uses it too, so we both do, but it's a really good laptop. Absolutely love it. For my gaming chair, I am using a chair from Alienware that they sent over to me. I used to have their blue version, but I really wanted the white one to match with our futuristic theme of our office, and it's a really comfy chair. I'd highly recommend it. I get lots of questions about it, honestly, about what chair I'm always using, so that is the one that I use. And then down here we have my footrest. Now, I picked this up on Amazon. It's probably the best footrest that I have ever gotten. I've used a couple in my office. We'll make sure to link that down below, but I like it because you can tilt up and down and it has like a lot of movement in it. But now that we're also down here, I kind of want to show you guys like our cable management, because people always ask about cable management. So I couldn't be asked to really do raceways for the cables. So what I did is I built this custom box